Peggy 16.
My name is Atle Fagersten. I'm the producer at Pandrom Interactive, and we're developers of Immortal Realms Vampire Wars. In a nutshell, it's a turn-based strategy game that combines empire management, turn-based combat with a unique card twist that we really feel sets it apart from other games. It makes it a little bit more approachable without losing the hardcore values that the strategy game market really requires.
Immortal Realms story, it's very much about what we want to do was to take a lot of the classical vampire mythos and put them together into sort of a nice package. So we have 3 different clans in the game, the Dracul, the Moria and the Nosfernos. And each of the different clans sort of represent this different aspect of vampire mythologies. Main and first protagonist is Vlad Dracul, which is the ruler of the Dracul faction. He's he represents one of the few pure-blood vampires that you know is still in the world. You know, he's very honorable. He takes great pride in his name, his bloodline. He has ruled Warmont for a number of years, quite a long time, and his main objective is keeping his realm safe and sound. And his wife Cecilia is also one of the main protagonists of the game. She's much more of a warrior than he is actually. She's much more of a hunter. So she doesn't really have the sort of noble, honorable nature to her. She has part of it, but not to the same extent. And she's much more keen to go out there and do things rather than ruling from a safe distance. The Dracul are very much based on the Dracula sort of mythology about the Count Dracula ruling Transylvania and sort of living in synergy with humans. It's very much about rooting them, and sort of he has noble intents, but of course, being a vampire doesn't really match always with the the humans' morality. And then we have the Moria, which are sort of the treacherous vampires, the noble vampires. So that represents a completely different aspect as well. They're very high society. And then, of course, the Nosfernos are the monster vampires, the ones skulking the sewers and sort of trying to get revenge for all the injustices done to them over the years.
We've looked a lot at traditional vampire myths and lore to kind of structure our take on the 3 different, called the core vampires. We have the bloodthirsty warriors, we have the monster type vampires, and we have the more highborn and noble vampires. For this game, we started with developing or setting the baseline of the characters we wanted. We're like, this is Vlad Dracul, he's the leader of the Dracul clan. This is kind of how he is as a character, and we did that for most of the main characters, and then we started working on the story and developing basically the game at the same time. So it was a bit of a back and forth of, all right, what works narrative-wise, what can we do gameplay-wise? So there was a back and forth there constantly with balancing what is this character's motivation, what do we want to tell, what kind of story do we want to tell here, and what can we actually do in-game.
So the game is split into a number of chapters, 1 chapter for each clan, and there's 4 missions for each chapter. So we start with the Dracul clan, and then throughout the events that transpire in those missions, we sort of understand more about the world, and then those things lead into the discovery or awakening of a second clan, and then we pick up the thread over there. It is a narrative told in a chronological order, but with 3 different perspectives.
While the game takes place in quite a short period of time, we're definitely hinting back at what the previous story has happened for hundreds and both thousands of years previously. The same characters that you play with in the campaign are, well, the vampires, so they've been around for a long time, one of them even thousands of years. So we definitely hint about that in the story, what happened when he was more active in the world and now he's coming back.
We set out to make a dark fantasy world where basically everyone was a villain, or at least, not everyone is a knight in shining armor. So I'd say that each character has their own objectives, their own goals, own morality, and things are definitely not black and white. As I've repeatedly been told, like Scandinavia and Sweden is cold 6 months out of 12, so we have a lot of experience with darkness.